Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger here, welcome back to Final Fantasy IX, and we're going to be doing what is arguably described as possibly the most challenging section of this particular Excalibur II Perfect Game walkthrough. Although, fortunately, with the PS4 toggles that you can now activate, and on Steam and iOS, it's actually not that bad at all, as you're going to find out. So starting with Zidane then, carrying Dagger, which is exactly where we left off previously in D2-07. This is D2-08 if you're following along with the Thomas's Game Facts walkthrough, link in description as always. We're going to head back up the stairs here and out into the Queen's Bedchamber, where a cutscene will commence, followed by another boss fight. Now, you'll probably remember me telling you in the last episode to try and make sure that you finished the fight against Zorn and Thorn in critical health, and you do that by having Vivi cast Blizzard, AoE Blizzard, on your own team. I didn't get to do that because of the time constraints of finishing within 26 minutes. Watch that if you don't know what I'm talking about. But what that means is that Freya's cover ability isn't going to activate immediately. So if, like me, you're not in critical health, then as you resurrect your characters with Phoenix Downs, and this is really a Phoenix Down episode, you'll be using that a lot, then Freya will be able to start covering them and the fight will go on a lot more smoothly, because you, for starters, need Steiner attack him, and if he's getting killed, that's not going to happen because he's going to be the main source of damage. But once he's in critical health, we know that we're only going to have to worry about casting Phoenix Downs on Freya, and the same is true for the other characters. It's a lot easier once everyone's in critical, because then if you keep Vivi solely dedicated to Phoenix Downs, then anytime Beatrix goes to make an attack, you know it's going to be against Freya, and you can just Phoenix down her and keep the battle running smoothly. With Zidane stealing an optional course, but nothing else for him to do really in this battle. You can get the Ice Brand, so it's not a bad thing to try and do, but it's not necessary. And then Steiner just using normal attack for about 1500 to 1600 points of damage per hit. And that's really all there is to this. You shouldn't be struggling too much with this encounter, quite frankly. It might take a couple of attempts, but other than that, it shouldn't be a big problem. So with everyone now in critical, as I say, we only have to worry about healing Freya, or rather Phoenix downing Freya, since she's the only one that's going to be getting attacked at this point. But about 3 or 4 hits from Steiner will finish this battle as well. So we can see Vivi's getting attacked, and now we can resurrect Freya, since she covered him as we'd expect. So just keep Vivi on Phoenix down duty. If you do come into this fight with everyone in critical, then, to be honest, it's a formality. And that's it. That's all there is to this one. I've not tried this encounter with Battle Assist. I don't think it'd be that helpful, to be honest, because you're still going to be probably getting one shot, even with that active. So now we just have to get through this cutscene. And we're about to get thrust into our first of several forced non-boss fight enemy encounters in this episode. Now, obviously, because these are non-bosses, they will give experience, and because we're going for a perfect game where we'll want to max stats out later, we need to keep our party at level 1 for the time being, which means we need to make sure that Beatrix absorbs all the experience. It doesn't matter if she levels at all, because she's not a permanent party member. So this is what we have to do. We have to make sure that Freya is killed off before Beatrix kills this enemy. Very easy to do. Just get Freya to attack herself, and then have Beatrix use Clim Hazard, and that should one-shot this particular foe. Now, if Beatrix gets killed before you manage to attack the enemy, then have Freya resurrect her before doing that routine. But if you just toggle Battle Assist on and off just as the battle's starting, then you should start with full ATB gauges so that you can go ahead and do that immediately. Once we get control of our main party again, we're going to go ahead and sort their equipment out and their abilities, etc, etc. And we're just going to do it thusly. Zidane's going to want Mithril Dagger, Bandana, Bone Wrist, Mithril Vest and Reflect Ring. Steiner's going to want Ice Brand, Mithril Helm, Silver Gloves, Chainmail and Coral Ring. Vivi, the Oak Staff Mage's Hat, Bone Wrist, Magician's Robe, which I don't have, because I messed up at the auction, but we'll get that later, so that's fine. And Maiden's Ring. And then for Garnet, the Mithril Rod, the Mage's Hat, the Glass Armlet, the Silk Robe, and the Gold Choker. Now, Thomas's guide says that you'll want to have Auto Potion on Zidane, Vivi, and Garnet. But because we'll be using Battle Assist quite a lot in this episode, I'm not going to want to waste potions, so I don't actually activate that particular ability. That said, you will want Zidane to have Auto Reflect, Steiner to have HP plus 10%, and Insomniac. And if you're not using Battle Assist, then make sure Zidane, Vivi, and Garnet have Auto Potion equipped as well. Finally, after doing abilities and equipment, you'll want to make sure that every single party member is put into the back row. So you'll use the order command in order to do that. So only once you've got your party sorted, you'll want to quickly avoid this Bandersnatch here and make your way down the steps. And we're going to be thrust in a moment into yet another forced encounter, this time against 3 Type Cs. And this can be a bit of a pain, okay? This is why I highly recommend Battle Assist, because you're going to have to get stop cast successfully on every one of these. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to have Zidane stealing. You might get some potions and tents. Steiner is going to be doing nothing really apart from resurrecting anyone that gets killed. Vivi is going to be double casting stop. And Dagger is going to be AoE silencing to try and stop these magic attacks. You might have Dagger killed, she might not get the silences off, but it's nice if it does work. It doesn't for me, I don't think. Now, it is worth noting that the first Type C in your list, which is the one on the right as we look at them here, seems to be a little bit more resistant to stop and does a little bit more damage than the other 2. So you might want to focus on him first, or you might want to focus on him last, depending on what you think would be more appropriate. Personally, I didn't do anything special, but he's the last one to get stopped. In either case, you need to stop all of these 3 enemies, because if you kill them with your other abilities, you're going to get experience and you're going to mess up your perfect run. So that's why I do recommend using this Battle Assist. You don't have to, but obviously you can only cast 1 stop at a time, and Vivi is going to run out of MP very quickly. Thomas's Game Facts Guide does say you can use an Elixir, but you really want to try and avoid doing so. Honestly guys, Battle Assist just solves so much headache, and you know, you don't need as much patience just by using it. And as you can even see, even with Battle Assist, we're having to spend time resurrecting characters and whatnot from the dead anyway. So we've got 2 out of those 3 guys stopped now, just the final one to go. So I do want to try and get Dagger resurrected as well if we can, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to do stop there. But Vivi's dead, so we'll have to get him resurrected as a priority. But you can see we've got those 2 stops, so we're just going to have to concentrate on this more resistant one. At least in my experience, he's more resistant. Maybe I'm just unlucky, but even on my practice attempt, which I didn't record, he was a bit of a nuisance in terms of getting that stop working. And you see Reflect there, he's reflecting the magics back for damage. We're not doing that for damage. We're doing that just to keep the damage away from our own party. So I think the next round is where we have a little bit more luck here. But I wouldn't want to be doing this with only 1 round of stop each turn. Even with 2, it's hit and miss, isn't it? There we go, we've done it. So, no experience, exactly what we wanted to see. And now we're going to continue on down until the next cutscene commences. Oh, actually, before you go any further, you do need to stop and replace Vivi's Maiden Ring with the Coral Ring, and also give him the Insomniac ability, and make sure you take Silver Gloves off Steiner. I've got to be honest, it was super close there, because as you'll see when we exit the menu here, we literally kick off the cutscene, so I was just in time in opening up the menu in order to make that gear change. So make sure you do it just a little bit before I did there, or you'll probably be sad and have to restart from your last main save. Look at that, I close the menu and the cutscene kicks off. I would have had no other opportunity to make those changes had I not done it just when I'd done it. So all we need to do on this encounter is stop these Bandersnatches. It's a little bit easier than the Type Cs. You can of course steal once again. You might get a tent or a potion. Either way, Sedan won't be doing anything else. Unless some of your characters get killed, you might want to use him to resurrect. But it's just really a matter of focusing on stopping them in order to end the battle as quickly as possible. By giving Vivi the Insomniac ability, he won't be able to get put to sleep by their attack, their tongue attack. So he can just continue trying to finish his battle as quickly as possible. And they're nowhere near, as I say, as resistant to stop as the Type Cs are. It is annoying when Vivi gets killed, since he's the one party member you really don't want to get killed. And this will be the one, I think. Boo. There we go. So once again, no experience. We're still at level 1. And we will be for a while yet, I'm afraid. Right, so continue heading down the stairs. And this is where we say goodbye to Steiner for the time being. Before you actually get to this cutscene, make sure Steiner's resurrected if he's not alive already. He was for me. And then we'll just spam through here and we'll get our final Bandersnatch with Sedan's team. And it's just the same thing really. Steal with Sedan if you want to. And cast stop with Vivi in order to try and finish the battle as quickly as possible. With just one of them, it shouldn't take too long really. Hopefully you can see how frustrating and annoying this session would have been back on the PS1 days, where you didn't have autosave, you didn't have battle assist, and all these other things that we've been treated with for this release of the game. It would have taken many hours to get everything perfect on this particular section of the walkthrough, or the playthrough. So we must consider ourselves spoiled, in all honesty. Right, so now we're going to switch views and head back to Freya and Beatrix. Now, if you remember, Freya's been killed in battle. So as soon as the battle begins, we're going to be wanting to cast Clim Hazard with Beatrix here in order to end it as soon as possible. So you're either at the mercy of ATB gauges here, or just use Battle Assist in order to get the first attack, so that you can just get it first time really. And Clim Hazard will one-shot both of these, and not only that, but because she's getting all the experience, Beatrix will actually do nice amounts of damage and have more chances of survival with higher health and defense values in each subsequent battle that she partakes in. So that's pretty awesome, isn't it? After this, Steiner's going to come into the battle, or the next battle. This is the final battle, actually, of all the 4 non-boss enemy encounters. We will have to take care of Steiner before Beatrix casts Clim Hazard this time around, because otherwise he'll get experience. So by take care of him, I mean we need to kill him. So just make sure that Steiner attacks himself before Beatrix goes ahead and Clim Hazards once more. And that should be all there is to it. So Steiner won't get experience there, obviously Freya won't either. Now just make sure before you take any more steps that you might want to have the safe travel toggle on, because you can get random enemy encounters. And replace Sedan's Mythor Dagger with a dagger. The guide just tells us to do that. And then we're just going to head back into the chapel. And we're going to do Mognet. We're going to need to accept a letter from Monty here. From Mosh. And that's it. We can actually finish this session now and save our game. Right, so technically the most challenging session, although it really isn't on PS4 or PC, is over with. We can move on. And that was quite a fun one actually, I enjoyed that, despite there was a few frustrating moments when I was practicing. But let's have a look at my time, shall we, so you can compare with your own playthroughs. Alright then, so 4 hours, 10 minutes and 27 seconds is where I'm at. The target time on Atomos's guide is 4 hours 24 minutes and 34 seconds, so we're a good 15 minutes ahead of schedule by this particular point. And it's always interesting to know what your times are, so please don't forget to share those in the comments as well. I know many of you are doing this even faster than I am, which is, you know, just great to see, really. But yeah, it's been fun today, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to leave a like, and I look forward to coming back soon with the next session, which is D2-09. I'll see you then. Goodbye.